back to Alivo Sailing. Last episode, we couldn't help to put your eyes in a trance with the beauty of Fakarava. If you feel like you need a vacation now, well, grab a drink and come along to slip away into boat life with us. After last week's spearfishing with no ciguatera poisoning and banging out a few important projects, we properly floated our anchor chain near the narrow and shallow South Pass of Fakarava, where we plan to exit in the coming days. So we're going above and beyond, making crazy contraptions to run a Recon mission to avoid at all possible costs of running into the reef and sinking. We are terrified, but this cruising lifestyle is full of terrifying moments, so we better get used to it. So come along and let's work through the challenges together.
Now, no need for the motor. Look at that. We made it that far with no motor. We're doing great.
Can you pump it like the wing on the foil?
Yeah, there you go.
Pump it!
Pump it.
Look how far this water is. This is insane. It's gonna be really hard to tell in this, but you can see all that water moving. It's like a little river. Whoa, look how rough it is. Here we go. Okay, let the motor go and let's see which way we go. Does look like we're kind of going in, huh? As mentioned in previous episodes, the currents in and out of the shallow passes of an atoll can get really strong, turning it into a river. This was our first glance at the pass we would be exiting in the coming days. This is insane! This water is so cool. I'm never ever gonna get over it. I love it. I never want to leave. That's a left for you. Oh, bro, let's go.
Oh, bro.
Real rough out here. We were gonna look at the waves, but it is choppy, and these waves are. Connor surfing the waves. Of course, we're gonna go snorkel, but all I can look at is this wave over here. The South Pass of Fakarava is a special place, and we highly recommend adding it to your bucket list. Even where Alivo sat parked, there were fish swimming all around, making it my favorite place to scrub Alivo's belly. The clear water was so captivating, you could see so far across the depths of the atoll. But you know that a little fun always gets balanced with a little bit of work. What could possibly happen next?
Noticing the bilge alarm going off for a little while. Not sure what it is exactly, but we did find one culprit today, and that is this stupid pressure relief valve, which is, if you've been watching since the beginning, this is the first project I think I ever did on this boat, and that was only a little over a year ago. And I replaced it and I got us backup, so glad I got that backup. But still kind of frustrating that it kind of went out already. So basically when the engine was running, we built up enough hot water to create enough pressure in the pump and, in the water tank. And this old one was just leaking out a bunch of water into our bilge, which is our fresh water, and that was kind of precious hot water also. So, oh well. One thing at a time. hopefully that's the last of the bilge alarm.
So we have a lot of science happening, so Connor wants to show you guys.
We are very nervous about this pass tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Fakarava South Pass, and it's way narrower and shallower than the North Pass, but we're down here and it would take us like a good 7 hours to get to the North Pass. So we're going for it, but today we're going to do a little recon. So right here I have like a little fishing boat fish finder. This actually is exactly the one that I'm using.
Contraption here.
So now I zip tied this to this PVC pipe. So as we're going through the pass, we'll be able to get an accurate depth from a very well-known height off the dinghy. We might have to dip this down a foot into the water to get a good reading, because if you go any shallower, then you get bubbles under here and that kind of throws off the reading. Then we'll get the underwater.
Sorry, we got a little bit of tarp happening up there. Hold on. Cut. Action.
Action. And so then we'll have the DJI on also. We're going to start this action at the same time as we're going to start this. Then we're going to show you guys from this screen from that camera, and then we'll also show the exact GPS kind of navionics track where we're going, where our dinghy is at that moment. So everyone will be able to get a very accurate idea of where are any bommies or shallow spots in that area. We have about a 7-foot draft. People have gone through with much deeper drafts than that. Been fine, so we should be fine, but just to be extra cautious that there's not a little bommy in the middle somewhere, we're going to do all this and we'll share it with you guys too. So to be able to make this work on the dinghy, we don't have a battery powered dinghy at all or a electric start, so we have no source for 12 volts on the dinghy. But what I do have is this little RC car battery, which has come in handy for me so many times I can't even count. And then we'll plug this into here. I soldered this little end onto this little fish finder thingamajig, and then I can plug this in here, and now we have a little portable 12 volt power source for this fish finder. So then all I have to do is plug in the transducer and away we go.
Alright, we're out here about to start experimenting, so Connor's got his contraption. We found our first marker, so we're going to try to go around that marker. And so I'm going to get all set up with my gear so I can put it in the water. Oh, my nose is being exposed. You got to cover up. And let's see how shallow it is here. I think here it's pretty deep. Let's look at navionics.
Unfortunately, our science experiment was slightly ruined because I totally forgot to put the SD card back into the DJI action. But that being said, the day before, while we were crossing a similar path, I attempted to put the camera in the water. So here's an idea of how the passage looked like underneath. Coral everywhere, shallow spots jumping up, and just absolutely terrifying to pass your floating home right over something that could put a hole into the hull and sink you. Thankfully, navionics is amazing and we plotted a path to hopefully bring us to the other side unscathed. But let's show you what kind of shallow water we're working with here.
34 feet. Navionics actually says that it's 20 feet right here.
At least they're not overestimating.
As we slowly dinging through the potential path, our eyes were on two things. Right here on the top left corner of the depth sounder is the water depth. And for any non-sailors, Connor's phone has navionics on it, our go-to navigation tool. So you can see our track with the changing depths.
It's up here at the cross section where it gets a little sketchy according to the charts. 15, 17, 18, 11, 7.
7?
No, 11.7. Nothing under 10 that I've seen yet. This whole little section is the scary part, and the lowest we saw was 11.7 so far.
11.7 feet, and our draft of our sailboat that sticks down into the water, we estimate at 7 feet. That means there will still be about 4.7 feet of water underneath us. Now that may seem like a lot of water to some. For us, it felt like inches. We plotted the low spots on Navionics so we could avoid those shallow spots, and then continued to zigzag around the shallow areas to make sure there were no other hazards. We plotted it all out and felt a lot better crossing the next day with this information.
10, 6, 9. Okay, that's the bad spot right there.
Our science came out great. We tested out all the areas where Alivo was going to pass through, and everything is more than 10 feet, so we're feeling good. And then we ended up diving more and saw some hundreds of sharks and fish and all the great things. I wish I had the SD camera or the SD card in the camera. And if it wasn't so windy, we probably would have rallied back to Alivo, got the SD, and then went back. But it was so windy, it was pretty choppy and long to get back. But on a brighter note, you get to see Connor's
my new outboard hoist. Engineering and my welding today. Welding, I know it's ugly, but I think it's gonna hold. Engineering, I think, got a little bend in here from when I tried to pull on it, but I'm a little bit heavier than the outboard, believe it or not. I think it's gonna work.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, pulling.
If you have been watching our channel for a while, you may remember that we would have to swing the boom wide using our preventer to hold it in place. Then we would attach the outboard to the hoist, then we'd have to run back, adjust the preventer to let the boom swing back, and then lower the outboard. It was a lot of extra steps. So as you see here, Connor's new hoist may not be pretty, but it's the perfect addition, making our life so much simpler. We do have a safety line attached to the outboard, so if Connor's welding doesn't hold, the outboard will not sink to the bottom.
How did that feel? Woo!
We continue to prep the boat for Tahiti tomorrow. We will be sailing 2 days to get there. We always find a silent flow working as a team. Without words, one of us stores the diving equipment, the other ties off loose items. We tidy up and hoist the dinghy on deck, all while Mother Nature puts on a show right behind us.
Just got this little shark circling our boat right before we're leaving. Saying goodbye. What a friendly little guy.
Shoki, we love you.
It's moving day. We have thoroughly enjoyed our time at Fakarava, and we've been anticipating our exit for days. We even did that Recon mission yesterday, and we're feeling solid, right, Connor?
Yep, it's time to go.
Okay, ready? This is our pump up. Ready? Ready, chest bump or something? Cool.
I can't stand up like you under there.
All right, we're pulling up anchor. We are heading south to Tahiti.
Southwest.
Southwest.
Mostly west.
Yeah, south and a little west. Okay, let's do it.
Bye-bye.
Boom. Bye-bye.
On the boat again. I just can't wait to get back on the boat again. I don't remember any of the other words, but I'm gonna write new words on this trip.
All right, leaving Fakarava. I'm on the bow, just scoping out the scene. As you can tell, it is very shallow. I mean, right now it's probably 30 feet. This is our channel. A little nerve-wracking, but let's do this, guys. No scratching on Alivo. We're in about 20 feet right now. Oh my God, this is so scary. I'm like shaking. You know that we gotta get used to this, but I do not like this much water underneath us. There's like maybe getting close to 10 feet. Bommies on both sides, just right there. Right there. All right, here we go. We just hit 11.3. Oh my God.
I'm panicking.
We're in the clear. That was it.
Oh my gosh. The tide is just changing right now. You can see all the water. We got a dive boat just about to pop in here. Good job, babe!
For the experienced sailor, you may be chuckling at our fear, but for us, this moment was a milestone. Having limited water under your boat is an uneasy feeling, especially when in the few weeks you have seen multiple beautiful sailboats looking like this. It truly adds to the nerves. We wouldn't know it yet, but some of the anchoring in the Society Islands will challenge us even more with our comfort levels. But for today, we are proud.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna miss this place. Oh gosh. Whew, we did it. Connor is such a freaking good captain.
Keep an eye out for divers.
Yes, sir. Yes, Captain. I cannot believe we just did that. I had the butterflies the whole time in my stomach. Jeez Louise. Also, thank goodness for ski masks. Number one thing on a sailboat, I highly recommend. Greatest sun protection ever. Woo! Good job, Captain.
Good job, first mate.
Crushed it. That was scary.
It was a little scary.
That was scary. I have major butterflies.
Yeah.
Woo! Alright, I'm at the helm, just steering us upwind, wind on the nose, and Connor is hoisting the main. Don't worry, he's got his life jacket on. Out there's another boat named Como from Hong Kong. They are beating us. They must have a code 0, but we also need to delay, right?
We found out. We just did the calculations, and according to my calculations, if we continue on at our current speed, average speed of 5.8 knots, we will get to Papeete at 5:30 in the morning about. So we can shave off a little bit of speed right before we get there.
Yeah,
so
we don't want to go faster than this. We like slow is fast and fast is, or wait, no. Slow is smooth, no, smooth is fast and, how does it go?
I don't know.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's it.
Tahiti, and we haven't filmed very much this passage. It's like a 250 mile passage, I think. So about 2 days, a little bit less than 2 days sail. It's been super mellow, but then all of a sudden we just hit 26 knots, I think was our max wind speed right now. and we got up to 10 knots, so that's fun. Somebody requested that we include the depth for those readings also. Our depth sounder does not work at anything past, like, I think 300 feet. So,
And
oh look, 104. Oh no. I think that's a whale or something. I don't think it's 132 feet out here in the middle of nothing.
yeah, it's supposed to be like 11,000 feet.
Yeah.
And occasionally, just a little bit ago, we saw 30 and then 25 and 22 feet. So it must have been a whale swimming underneath.
We're having a great little sail here. We're just on Broad Reach right now and switched from wing on wing. We've been wing on wing mostly.
We're going too fast, so that's why we kind of ended up taking a steeper north angle and going more of a I guess more of a broad reach with this wind. But yeah, it just spiked up to 26 knots, and now we're probably gonna have to change directions because we are going way north of Tahiti. We're going like to Bora Bora right now.
Wahine!
Wahine!
Teeny Wahine!
Thanks for sailing with us on Alivo. Make sure to comment below and share the episodes with your friends. Next episode, we arrive in beautiful Tahiti, and Connor dives deep into the wonders of the windlass, meaning our windlass is not working, and with friends arriving very soon, we are in a time crunch.
No luck! So, back to the drawing board.
Will he manage to get us functioning by the time the girls arrive? Stay tuned to find out. We want to give a huge thank you to all our supporters. We so appreciate you and are amazed at your generosity. If you want to also help support our journey, check us out on Patreon. There's a link below in the description. Or if it's easier, scan your phone right now on the QR code that's right here on the screen. Now make it a great day and see you next episode.